Wonderful. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to climb over my leads here. It is safe, but I did add the lamp just in the last few minutes, so you can see my glimmering face. Hello. I see we're joined by Amity and Elliot today. It's so lovely to see you. We are also joined by Natalie and Tim. So welcome everyone to this slimy, goopy, scary, ghoulish, messy, wonderful workshop. Thank you so much to the City of Casey and the Old Cheese Factory for having me for this virtual Halloween festival. I know it's not the same as coming together in person, but I hope you have fun with what we are offering today. Before we crack on, I just wanted to acknowledge that this workshop, and I imagine our attendees today, we are all gathering on the lands of the Kulin Nation, the people of the Kulin Nation. I myself am here on Wurundjeri and Bunurong country, so I would like to pay my respects to elders past and present. If there's anyone watching here who are First Nations, I pay my respects to you. And thank you for joining us. Very exciting. So I hope you are all getting absolutely all pumped up for Halloween. It's just a couple of days away. So it's the 29th. So 2 more sleeps till Halloween. I'm very excited about that. As you can probably tell, I love Halloween. You'll get a better look at me in a second, but I'm just, I'm coming up close and personal. I'm saying hello. Rightio, amigos. So Tim has very warmly welcomed you in the chat there. Please do type away. Please write to me, write to us. Let me know how you're going, and if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate. We'll be giving away some prizes as well. So the Old Cheese Factory and the City of Casey have some very, very special Whiz Fizz show bags that I can't wait to give away. So we'll have a couple of riddles throughout the session, and hopefully you might be able to win them. Points for creativity. You don't have to get the right answer. So what we're going to start with today is a sickly, ghouly, ghastly slime recipe that I have given you the ingredients for. So you would have seen on the event page, there were some ingredients that you can yourself just use from. You might have these ingredients around your home, or you might have gone out to pick them up. So good on you if you did that. So what we're going to do today to start off with is make some sickly slime. So I'm going to go around here to my evil laboratory. And we're going to start off by making this sickly slime. So to begin with, I'm going to need some corn flour, some water, and a little bit of food dye. So maybe you can tell me in the comments which color you would like our slime to be today. I do love a good green, but you know what? Amity, Elliot, Tim, Natalie, tell me, what color goop do you want to see first up today? What do you want to see me get all over my very pretty apron? Tell me. I'm going to probably go with the green. Oh, I think it's green. Yep, beautiful. Natalie suggested green.
I think green is the way to go.
Thank you. I know, right? I had that instinct, but I want to find out what you want, my audience, what you want. So I've got this much too big bucket of corn flour here, and do be careful. I'm here in my house, in my lounge room, but I do have a big drop sheet under me. And oh, hello, Amity and Elliot, lovely to see you. Oh, welcome. Happy Halloween. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to grab probably about 2 fingers high. A cup of corn flour. That's a little bit too much for me. So I'm thinking, and I've got very small fingers. I got elf fingers. It's not Christmas yet, Tara. Come on. Okay, there we go. So there's about 2 there. So I'm going to put that away. That's what we start off with here. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to we're going to now create our liquid, what do you call it? Our liquid, I don't know, our mix, our gloopy mix. And this is going to help us create something very wonderful, something very magical over here. So we're going to start off with just a little bit of water in this cup. I'm going to fill it up probably about halfway. It doesn't need to be too specific. Fill that one up here. So this is the one that you can do at home with the ingredients I suggested. As I said, it's corn flour, water, and a little bit of food dye. So it's going to be lots and lots of fun. I also recommend for this one, I know I got a spoon out, but that's for the next thing, because for this one, you really got to mix it with your hands. It's the only way. It's the only way. It gets a bit messy, but that's what we're here for, you know. So I'm going to add a little bit of green food dye to my water here, just a couple of little drops. Oh, I love it. I want to show you this. I love the effect when you drop a little bit of that food dye in there. Oh, it looks like a witch's brew, doesn't it? Oh, don't worry, I won't turn you, any of you into froggies this time. Okay, wonderful. Come back around here. Rightio. Oh, you know what? I'll put a little bit more in, because why not? The good thing about food dye is, look, it can get on things, but it's, you know, sometimes you got to make a mess. You got to, what is it? Crack some eggs to make a cake. I don't know what the saying is. Cool. So here we are. Now, I've got one of these little things here. You might know what it's called. You might have never seen it before. It's called a pipette. And what we're going to do with this pipette is it's going to help me control how much liquid goes in. If you don't have any pipettes at home, it's like a tongue twister. If you don't have pipettes at home, you can just use a teaspoon. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to give it a little bit of a swirl. I'm going to double check my measurements, my witch's guide, because you've got to make sure that you do this right. Beautiful. So we're going to do about 5 pipettes, or about 2 teaspoons worth of liquid right into our corn flour there. I want you to count with me. We're going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. I also have to say, when I squelch the pipette in the water, it makes a sound like the angry tummy of some monster. Oh my goodness. Wonderful. Okay, this is the time. I'm going to come up close and personal. Now, at the moment, they're just sitting there quite happily, just getting to know each other. But what I got to do, I got to get my hand right in there, and I'm going to, it's so gross. But you'll see what happens is when you start mixing it with your hands, you'll be able to feel the actual reaction, what's happening in the already. Oh, it's really, I'm going to put a little bit more water in it. So you might find that, like mine, this one's a bit dry. So I'm actually going to put a little bit more water in, and it's easier to put more water in than to keep putting corn flour in. That's something you got to remember. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit more water to see if we can get a bit more of a slimy consistency. I'm just going to do one at a time. I'm going to get my fingers in there again. Oh, it's very gross. Now, there's something really cool that happens when you add liquid to corn flour. Oh my goodness. And when you try this for yourself, you'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to see. So I'm going to try. What do you think will happen if I try to mix it really quickly? You can tell me in the comments if you like. What do you think will happen if Rama tries to mix this really, really quickly with her fingers?
Does it go hard, Tara?
Yes, Natalie, it does. It goes because corn flour is there's another word for it. It's called oobleck, which sounds very Halloweeny, doesn't it? It's also known as a non-Newtonian, I think it's non-Newtonian solid, I think is what the term, but basically it has something to do with Newton. You know, he was a brainy dude. Yeah, so basically when you try to hit it, right, so I'll show you. So if I scoop it out, you'll be able to see it kind of just, oh, that's what we want though, isn't it? That's what
so slimy.
You came here to see this. This was the slimy nonsense you wanted. But here, look. So it looks very liquidy, but if I try to mix it or push it down really hard, it's as solid as a rock. which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
I have to say, it's one of the most favorite things to put, like, it just relaxing on a Sunday afternoon. Just make yourself a tub of slime and just get in there, you know. It's very relaxing. It feels so cool. So I highly recommend you give this one a crack as well. As I said, all it takes is some corn flour, some water, and just a little bit of coloring. And you can color whatever color you want. Okay, so what we're going to do now is it's time for our first riddle. It's time for our first riddle. And I wonder, so is that, oh, yes, please. So Amity and Elliot, if you wanted to join in, you can absolutely unmute yourselves. You don't have to. You can just chat on the chat if you like as well. Oh, hello. Oh, wonderful. Hello. How are you today?
Good.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. I've got a riddle for you, and I'm wondering if you can help me out with this riddle. I'm just going to get my little riddle book here, because we do have some very special prizes to give away today. So I've got a riddle for you. What's it like to be kissed by a vampire? What's it like to be kissed by a vampire? What do you think? Sloppy?
Not very fun, I think.
Not very fun? What do you think, Amity and Elliot?
Yeah, not very fun.
Not very fun. I'm going to take that as a great answer. I would say it's a pain in the neck. Oh my goodness. See, it's going to be like this the whole hour. I'm sorry. I have to tell you this straight up. This is what's going to happen. Do you know what? I love that response. I think that you're right. It is going to be a pain in the neck. And I think that you have both already earned yourselves some whiz fizz show bags. I've got so many tongue twisted today. So congratulations to you both. What we might get you to do is, actually, that's a good question, Natalie. How do we get our show bags out?
Yeah, if you guys want to message us on Facebook at the Old Cheese Factory, and then we can get them out to you for Halloween on the weekend. So if you want to ask Mum after this one if she can help you guys out, and then we can send them your way.
That sounds perfect. How cool is that? What do you think of that, guys?
That's good.
Show bags?
Yeah.
I didn't even get one. You're pretty special. You're very lucky. Rightio, we're going to put that over there. Okay, now, I'm so excited for this next one. So what we're doing now is we're going to do something that's going to use the same ingredients, but we're going to make something a little bit different. I did make a vampire joke because we're going to be making some vampire blood. Very scary. Very, very scary. And vampire blood is very different to human blood. I don't think, look, I wouldn't say it's very healthy. Probably doesn't look very healthy. So we're going to make some pretty weird looking blood today, because vampire blood, I think, is very, it's quite a lot thicker, I think, and it's probably a bit dark and it's not shiny and bright like human blood. So I'm going to start with, we're going to do a similar situation, except I'm going to use quite a lot less of our corn flour. I might do this one in a bowl, actually. I'll do this one in my little cup here, or I'll do it in a jar. Just making up my mind. I'm going to do it in a jar. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so we're going to start off with just a little bit of that corn flour again. I'm going to grab a cup. So I've been reusing these ones. I do this, reuse these every time. It's just easier for you to see what's going on in there. And we're going to add a little bit of water to a cup again. Oh, I tricked myself. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Open the water jug, Rama. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we've got a little bit of water there. Put in a jar. And as I said, a little bit of corn flour again. I get my oversized, far too big, very, very big, monstrously sized corn flour tub here. What I was trying to say earlier is if you are doing this at home, do make sure that you're doing it somewhere that you can clean up easily afterwards. it's okay. I'm the only one that lives here. So if I make a cornflower explosion, I'm the one that has to live in it. You know, I'm the one. So wonderful. We got our water, we got our cornflower, and we're going to get some red for our vampire blood. And we're also going to get some blue, and I'll show you why in just a moment. We're going to make this quite red. So I'm going to put in quite a few drops into a relatively small amount of water here. I say there's probably just about 1/4 cup of water there. We're not going to use it all. So I'm going to make it quite red. Oh yes, it's very red.
That does look very red. How cool.
I'm glad you can see the yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to add a bit of blue because I wonder if you can tell me, Amity and Elliot, do you know what happens when I add blue to red?
It turns like a purple.
Very good, it does. So we're going to use much more red than blue, but I'm going to add just a little bit of blue to give it a very slightly purplish color, which means that it's going to be a very, it's just going to be good. So you can see that already. It's getting very dark there. Oh, yes. But in the light, I don't know if you can see that. Oh no, it just looks dark. It just looks black. That's fine. But when we add it to the cornflower, you're going to see something amazing. Right. So instead of making a slime like we did before, this time we're going to make it a bit thinner. I'm going to make it a bit more like blood. So I'm going to add some to our, just going to start squirting in a few. I'm going to do quite a few in here. Oh, this is quite dark. Oh, that's very dark. Oh, I love it. Okay, and I'm just going to start by giving that a little bit of a stir to see how that's going. Wonderful. So already that's very, that's looking amazing. I love it. I'm going to do 2 versions of this and we're going to decide which one we like better because this one, okay, cool. So there's a version that you can do, which is this one, which is, and I'm just showing you little versions because I'm doing lots of different slime and goopy things today. So basically what you see here, this one looks a little bit pink, so I can definitely add a little, oh no, that's still pretty good.
It looks good.
So you can see it's still very, oh yeah, you touch it, it's like, it just doesn't feel right. And that's what vampire blood should feel like in my opinion. So that's one way you can do vampire blood. We can probably make that a bit redder, I think, because, and here's the thing, when you're making slime, it's all trial and error. You just make it however you want and you make it the way that you want to make it, you know? Every vampire is different. Just going to add that little bit there. And that's come out quite a lot darker. Oh, yes. Wonderful. So you can see that that's getting quite a lot darker. So that's one way we can do it. I'm going to show you one other way that's going to combine one more ingredient that you've probably got around your house. But as you can see, that's pretty gnarly. Ooh. Yeah, that definitely came out of some vampire somewhere. Okay.
It's much colder.
So wonderful. So now we're going to keep that water there and we're going to make it in this cup here. So I'm just going to get a bit more corn flour. I'm going to use quite a lot more this time. I'm probably going to use about 1/3 of a cup or 1/3 of this jar, which is probably more like 3/4 of a cup. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us a lot more vampire blood to deal with, to work with. And that makes me excited. So extra uber large. Who ordered this Uber?
Let's experiment with that.
And I might use a spoon to spoon this in, just to make it a little bit neater, you know. Let's not deliberately, you know, create a slime explosion in the lounge room. We don't need to do that. It might happen by its own. I'm not saying it won't, but yes. Okay. This is good. This is good. I'm very happy with this. Rightio. Okay, so that's probably about, yeah, it's about 1/3 of that. That's what we were going for. I'm going to cover that one up and put it away. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to add a little bit more red to that mix because it came out a little bit more mauve than what I wanted before. A little bit more mauve. Now, I do want to know, what are some of the famous vampires you folks know? Do you know any famous vampires?
We know one from Hotel Transylvania, Dracula.
Angela.
Yeah, Dracula.
Oh, Dracula?
Is it?
Or did you say Angela?
No, Dracula.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I mean, Angela is also a close vampire friend of mine. We get together on Sundays and have blood oranges and red velvet cupcakes. Dracula may very well be the most famous vampire of all. And I wouldn't want to come across him in a dark alley at all. No, I wouldn't. Thank you very much. You're very right. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this blood came from Dracula himself. So we're going to start adding some of this. Probably going to be a bit more liberal with it here, which means I'm going to put quite a bit more liquid in there. But I'm just going a little bit at the time because it's very easy. It's very easy to put too much liquid in when you're doing this. The corn flour eats it up like a hungry zombie. Nom, 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 nom. That's going to go in there. I'm going to see how that's going. I'm going to use my little spoon here again because, you know, we don't need to waste. We don't need to waste. And you'll start to see it's basically like the slime that we had before, but we're going to make it wetter. And then we're going to add, as I said before, one more secret ingredient to make it glossy, to make it shiny, to make it glisten in the moonlight. How are we going here? Might take a little while. Just got to bear with me. Oh, I do like where that's going. So we can start to see it's actually coming along a little bit like our slime from before. I feel pretty good that we're probably going to use all of this water, but better to be safe than sorry, you know.
Can I ask a question?
Please, yes.
What are the quantities you've got for that one at the moment?
Rightio. So this one is, so I'm using about 1/3 of a jar. So it's probably about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of corn flour there. And I'm doing just one kind of, I'd say there's probably, I'm doing kind of a teaspoon worth at a time to say, just to start to get the quantities. And the reason I'm being very careful is because it's very easy to put too much liquid in.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Right, you.
And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this a very we're going to try to make enough to fill this jar. And you know what, you can use this for so many different things. I wonder, you can gift this to your friends at Halloween if you want. I mean, I don't know if they're still, I mean, they might be scared of you after that. I don't know. I hope not. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, so this is coming together very well. Just giving that a good mix here.
Okay.
That looks really hard to mix this time.
You can definitely, yeah. The reason it's hard because of, as we said before, it acts like a bit of a solid, but I'm starting to be very, very, very happy with this mix. I'm going to add a little bit more red to really bring out that red color. And then we're going to add our secret ingredient.
Is that straight food coloring? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to add a bit? Do you want to add a bit of that? Let Elliot add a bit there.
Are you folks following on at home, are you?
Yeah, we're trying to get the
wonderful.
consistency. Yeah.
Well, then absolutely, I will make sure we I'll come over.
You're right about the corn flour just eating it up.
It just eats it up.
Just eats it up just a little bit in there, Ellie.
It can be, if you feel like you've got a good handle on it, you can definitely give it a little bit more love. Throw a bit more of the water, the liquid in there. If that helps. Yeah, I've come to a good place here, so it does happen. It just takes a little while.
Is there any knack to stirring? So, am I going for the hard stir, or are we going for the gentle stir?
You know, the thing is, the gentle is going to work better because it's a corn flour. It's going to, if you try to do it quickly, it's just going to seize up on you basically. So if you are doing it a little bit slower, giving it some love. Fingers are very, you get your fingers in there. It's gonna go really well.
You want to put your fingers in and try and...
So I now have this thick.
Oh yeah, yours looks good.
And that was just from, I was just doing little bits at a time. So it'll happen. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Oh, look, it came straight off.
Very hard.
Yeah, hang on. That's it.
Definitely feel free to get in. Yeah, definitely feel free to get in there with your fingers if that helps a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Ours is like orange.
Is it?
Yeah.
That one.
That's wicked. I love it. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I've seen a lot of different color blood come out of different vampires, and you know what? There's probably a vampire running around Transylvania with orange blood. Probably. Let's be honest. Oh, that's looking good. I like it.
Wow, this is a very strange.
It feels funny, doesn't it?
Very, very odd. It's like it defies the laws of physics.
It does actually. Yeah. Oh, there's actually a fun little video I wanted to share while you're doing that, and it's this basically what you experience when you're trying to work with the corn flour, and because it is both a liquid and a solid, essentially.
Yes.
Is what's happening there. Tim ate too many pumpkins. I just saw that Tim ate too many pumpkins. I'm going to see if I can share this one with us. And
so, Tara, should we keep mixing and mixing?
yeah, keep mixing. Just just take your time. I won't rush ahead. So you just let me know when you've started, when you're happy with the consistency. And
should the consistency be this?
Let's have a look.
Can you see that? Whoop.
Oh, wonderful. It's definitely you've got a wonderful slimy there. So I reckon if you put a little bit more of that liquid in, and you might want to add some more of the, depending if you've got red. If you don't have red, that's fine. But if you wanted to add some more of that liquid, and then it starts to, when it runs off the spoon and it's nice and dribbly, that's kind of the consistency we're after.
Okay. Yeah.
We've got pink.
That's okay.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah. It's okay. Do you want to give it a go, Elliot?
It feels like good.
It does. It can still feel the corn flour in it.
Oh,
keep going. Get your fingers in there.
That's the fun part. Yes.
Yep. Get to the bottom and really give it a good mix. I think it'll come together.
Yeah.
I believe in you. You can do it. And also, basically, if you can stop putting, if you want it to be a slime as well, you can just. But if you do want it to make some vampire blood with me, it's oh goodness, look at this. I'm just gonna test this one. Dooba-dooba-doo. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. I was working in the lab late one night. I don't think that's gonna work actually, because I already had too much water in there. No, we know what we're gonna do here. It's gonna be fun.
It's becoming a bit watery.
You have to get right into the bottom. Mix it. It's all right. I think it's nice and gooey.
Yeah, it is very gooey.
Is that a birdie I hear in the background?
Yes.
Yay! Oh, I love
the fruit.
Oh, tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet.
Can I just have a feel at the bottom there? See what it's doing. Oh yeah, that feels good. Oh.
Well done.
What happens if we, not that I'm going to, but what happens if we add more corn flour to this mix? Does it completely
it'll come
hard?
back to that it'll take a bit longer when you try to reverse it, but basically it'll start going back to that slimy consistency.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can go either way, so it just depends on what consistency you're after, basically.
Okay, I think we're almost there. I think we might just need I think we might need a little bit of extra corn flour. I think we're just a tiny bit too liquidy.
Oh, no worries at all. Yeah.
We'll put that in. All right, mix that in.
And I'll introduce, while you're finishing just getting your consistency right, I'm just going to let you know that I'm now going to add a little bit of the secret ingredient that's going to give it it's going to make it. I just love it. So we're going to add just a little bit of honey. If you don't have honey at home, that's totally cool. But if you do, I'm going to add probably about a tablespoon, and that's going to, it's going to give it a bit of a oozy shine. It's going to make it smell nice.
So that doesn't actually change the consistency, it just makes it shine.
Yeah, it's definitely adding a little bit of a water element, but if you've got it nice and if it's kind of gloopy, it shouldn't affect it too much.
Okay. That, guys. You let Elliot have a feel of that. Let Elliot put his hand in. Just put your hand here, Ams, that's fine. This it looks like a so weird. So weird.
I'm gonna add a little bit more blue to bring out the make it a little bit darker.
Does it? That's all right.
It's a bit stinky.
It's stinky, is it?
Vampires have got stinky blood.
They do. I reckon it's just sitting around in their bodies, just going boom. Cool. Let me know how you're going. If it's goopy, if it's...
I'm going to hold a bit up so Tara can see it.
I would love to see it. Yes, please.
Let's see if we can.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, it's sickly. I love it. What does it feel like, Elliot? What does it feel like?
Feels like very, very, very sticky blue tack.
Oh, I love it. Very sticky blue tack. I don't think you should put that stuff on the walls though. I don't know what Mum thinks about that, but I definitely
with you on that one.
So you can definitely experiment with that. As I said, if you add a little bit of powdered sugar, might also help bringing out a little bit of a glisten in it.
Okay.
And that will be quite nice. There's some nice, and you can put it in jars. You can send it to your enemies, send it to your friends, but make sure you label it. So you know, just in case someone thinks it's, I don't know, cranberry juice or I don't know, jam or something. Wonderful. Okay, it's time for another riddle. I want to know what kind of monster loves to disco. What do you think? What kind of monster loves to disco?
That's a tricky one.
Frankenstein?
I reckon he'd be a little bit uncoordinated because his both legs came from two different people. So one leg would be doing the cha-cha and the other leg would be doing the foxtrot. And that would be confusing, wouldn't it? I think he loves to dance too. But you know what? The answer I was looking for was boogeyman. Boogeyman. All right, you can. I know you're containing your laughter inside, and that's good. So
I thought it was funny.
Thank you so much. Oh, bless. Thank you. So we're gonna do. Should we do this one next? I think we will. So this one's actually just so cool and one of my top favorites. Where do we begin? So I think what I'll do over here, we're going to make a sludgy, my favorite kind of slime. It's got a bit more, it's a bit more tactile, a bit more squelchy. It's less dribbly than our cornflower slime, and it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to possibly also add a couple of scary treats to it. And you might also like to try this one at home, but I do recommend parental supervision for this one, just because there's a couple of fun little aspects to it that you might need some help with. So we are going to start with something that is probably, I'm definitely going to use a bowl for this one. We're going to start with something you probably don't have at home, and that's this stuff here. You probably have something like it, or you might in your craft box. We've got polyvinyl alcohol. What? What's that? It's basically PVA glue, but it's the bit without the glue bit, basically. So you can't get this at the supermarket, but you can get PVA glue. So you can also use PVA in this recipe. You might just need to tweak how much you use ever so slightly. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to do one cup of PVA.
Would the quantities, actually the quantities wouldn't translate to PVA. So if I was using PVA now, would I use a similar quantity?
Yeah, I'd probably use, because the active ingredient is probably a little bit different. I'd probably end up using, I'd start with the same and then try PVA. PVA probably, I think you might need to use a little bit more PVA because it won't have the active ingredient as much of the active ingredient. But it'll still, it'll just come out with a slightly different, like the consistency is ever so slightly different. You'll still get a very similar because we have another ingredient that you can purchase at the supermarket, which is borax, and that will be more readily available, and that's our kind of activating ingredient. So yeah, I've heard of that. I've successfully made it with like PVA before. I think you just might need to maybe use a little bit more. So we'll see how we go here, and you'll get a sense of what that should look like. So I'm going to start off with our 1 cup that's just going in our bowl here, and then we're going to get some borax happening. So I'm going to take a cup, and we are going to put some water in that cup, and we're going to make some slime, and this one's going to go in a jar. So do we want to see some more green slime? Do we want to maybe make something in a different color? What have we got? We've got yellow, we can do purple, or we can do, what else do we have here? I don't have yellow though.
I have yellow.
Do you want to, you've got yellow. Can you bring some over to me? Can you hop on the car? No? Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Maybe next time. So I'm going to put just about half a cup of water. I'm not going to use all of it. But what we are going to do is we are going to, I think we're going to make green again. And I'm going to make it quite dark green this time. I'm going to use quite a couple of drops, probably about 3 or 4 drops of food coloring there. And we are going to mix that up. And then we are going to add our super special secret ingredient, which is going to be really cool. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So borax. This is a bit of an interesting concoction here. It's primarily used for cleaning, but it also does something really, really cool when it interacts with our liquid and then when it hits our PVA. So you're going to see what happens. It's going to be so cool. I'm going to get a little spoon. I'm going to start with, so I've got a cup's worth of PVA. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of borax. Am I saying it right? Borax. 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 Ooh, not borat. Borax. We're going to put that there. I'm going to put that there. This is going well. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir. So what we're trying to do is we're going to try to get the borax to absorb some of that water. So we're going to see the reaction when it goes into the PVA. Cha 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 cha. We're almost there. What's a good Halloween song? Monster Mash. I think I did that.
Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. It was the Monster Mash. Oh, better not. Smells like PVA. I'm going to get my face out of there. We should almost be there. Oh, while that's sitting, actually, I'm going to grab one more thing that I'm going to add to this. which I should have had ready, but oh, I had everything else ready except for this. I've got some glitter here because I love glitter. Do you folks love glitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's good
Glitter.
stuff. So I think our borax is ready. We've got our glitter over there, and we've got. I've also got a jar full of spiders. And what we're going to do?
Oh
is
no.
We're going to take these spiders. Let's just say they're not going to be too happy with what I'm going to do to them, but that's okay. Spiders come into my house. They're going to have to. No, if a spider comes into my house, normally what I do is I just usher it out again because I don't mind it. You know, it's just trying to find somewhere safe. So that was just one little squirt of the borax mixture. I'm going to bring it over in a second. So I'm going to do quite a few. I think I'm going to start off with about 4 and see what happens. I'm going to start stirring and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to come over a bit closer. So I'm going to grab my little spoon here. And, oh goodness, better not spill it all over my laptop. I'm going to just angle this down so you can see a little bit better. And basically what we've got here to begin with is we're starting to see, oh my goodness, I love this. This is so good. Okay, so as I stir it, you're going to start to see, it's going to really change consistency. What you had was 2 very liquidy substances that are now coming together and they're going to be something altogether very different.
That looks super slimy.
It's the king of slime in my opinion. It's very good. It's very good. Oh yes. I'm going to keep stirring that one. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the borax mixture. Again, it's sometimes a little bit of just seeing how, depending on what products you're using, which brands, there's always sometimes a difference depending with a lot of these. Oh, that definitely needs a bit more of the old, wonderful. I'm going to keep adding this borax too. So that's 6, 7, 8. We'll see how that one goes. It's a labor of love, you know, but someone's got to do it. Someone's got to make the slime. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm very
It's quite a bit of stirring, isn't it?
What's that?
It's quite a bit of stirring, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. If you're making a smaller amount, it'll take less time. So if, for example, you wanted to do this just just for individual portions, I suppose, you could very easily do half a cup. I think it's half a cup of the PVA. Start with the glue and see how you go.
Yep.
And then just a few squirts of the borax. And if you've got it in a cup, you'll find that it does it quite a lot quicker. Bit more of an immediate. In fact, this is probably going to take a little bit. So I'm going to do one in a cup to show you what that looks like. So we're going to start with half a cup of the PVA. We've got our mixture here. I'll keep working that at the end, but in the meantime, we've got, oh, mad science. I love it. Okay, so I put 3 little ones in there and I'm going to start swirling that really quickly and you'll see what happens when it comes together quite a lot quicker in here. There's also one I prepared earlier. Oh, that's the other thing. So it will actually set over time as well. So if you leave it for a little while, it'll actually come together. So you can see immediately.
Oh.
Very
That's cool.
sickly, slimy, kind of like ectoplasm, like a ghost would leave behind. Oh my goodness. So now we're going to add something to that. We're going to make it extra pretty, extra special. We're going to give these spiders a party of a time, a good time. You can see how that's coming together. If I keep working that, it's going to thicken up. Oh yes, I love it. I love it. So now we're going to add, I think, you know what, we've got some green slime. I'm going to add some green glitter to that.
And then you add your glitter.
Oh, which I haven't opened yet, so we might use some silver. Whatever color you want. We're going to add some silver to that one. Just a bit in there. Sugar, 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 sugar. Oh yes, I love it. I love it. I do love some sparkly glitter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And this is the fun bit. The fun bit is when it's time to get it all over your hands. And you reach in there. And you get to play with it, and it's just so much fun. And you'll find that, as I said, it does harden up a little bit. I'll show you one that I made just slightly earlier, which has got a bit harder, which is good. Which one was it? There you go. So here's what we did earlier. Oh my goodness. And you can see this one is essentially a solid now.
Cool.
So that's really cool.
Very cool. So did you just let that sit?
Yeah, I just let that sit for a little while. Yeah, it comes together over a little bit of time. So making sure you give it lots and lots of stirring, it'll come together, and then also giving it a little bit of time to set. So you can enjoy it when it's nice and sloshy, and then you can enjoy it when it's a bit more like that. Wonderful. Righty-o.
Oh, that looks cool. Well,
oh yeah, it's really cool. And as I said, it's you should be able to get this stuff pretty easily.
I've seen borax at the supermarket, so I'll pick some of that up.
Laundry aisle, you'll be able to see it. This one looks, I'm pretty sure this is the brand that all of them stock, so the Bare Essentials one. So.
Yeah, great.
It's magic. Who knew? Who knew that Woolworths or Coles would have such magic? I've also got my little bowl here. You'll notice me washing because look, this is messy work, you know, but it's important work.
And fun work.
Fun, important, because it's Halloween. Amity and Elliot, what are you most excited for Halloween?
I think dressing up.
Oh, yes. Do you know what your costumes are going to be yet?
Not sure.
Not sure.
What else happens? What does Dad do? What does Dad?
Dad's decorate the house.
Decorate the house.
We've decorated our house for Halloween.
Oh, that's wonderful. The outside and the inside?
Just the outside.
Just the outside.
What else happens with your costume? What does Dad do?
Oh, he does face paint.
Oh, wonderful. I do face paint too. That's very cool. Does he paint you both? Or does he do face paint on his own face as well?
He paints on our face.
Oh, wonderful. What's your favorite thing that Dad's painted on your face?
Probably last year I was like this skeleton.
Oh.
And yeah, that looked cool.
Very cool. That's very cool. Do you know what? Tomorrow I'm actually, same place, same time, I'm doing a Halloween face painting workshop as well. So I'm going to be doing a skeleton, and I'm going to remind myself what we're doing. I'm blanking. We're doing 3 designs though. And if you did want to come back and see how it's done, but you know what? It sounds like Dad's got it covered. So I don't know. I don't think you need me. Right. Okay. Wonderful. So we've got 5 minutes left, which is perfect for our last icky, gross, wonderful creation. This one's a little bit spooky, but it looks very, very cool. So it's also very tasty. It's also a very tasty one. So, bowl. I'm going to move my lovely slime. Oh, so good. It's my favorite. My slime over there. Put it to the side. Little spider. Happy little spider. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in about how much we're going to do? I'm going to put about no, 3/4 of a cup of honey. Now this is when you want to make some really gnarly, like you want to make like it looks like you've fallen over and you've like hurt your arm, and it's blood and guts, and it's really gross. That's what we're trying to do today. So we're going to do about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of honey. I am eyeballing it because if I put it in the cup, it'll be hard to get out. So, but the good one is this recipe, unlike the borax recipe, is very forgiving because we're not looking so much for consistency is important, but because we're working with very thick, sugary foods, a lot of the work is done for us. So we're not trying to create a reaction like we are with the with either of the slimes, with the corn flour, with the borax. We're trying to create something that's pretty goopy, and it doesn't necessarily matter what the proportions are. You just make it however you like. So I'm going for, I'll put a bit more in there. So we're going for about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of honey. I bought my favorite honey so that when I finish this workshop, I would go and put it on some toast. Yeah, because I love honey. Oh my goodness.
Yum, honey toast is the best.
I also got some chocolate syrup because this recipe also needs chocolate syrup. So,
Yum.
yes, oh my goodness, yes. This is what I said. You're going to be so hungry while you're making this bloody, gory like situation here. It's going to be so good. Right here. So that's about one, so if that's about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup, I'm going to put about a tablespoon of chocolate syrup. Oh, it smells so good. Yum, 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 yum. If only I had some ice cream to put it on. Right. Oh, watch that go in there. Very nice. Very nice. I think we'll see how we go with that. That looks good. And the piece de resistance, we're going to put a little bit of, yes, we are indeed. We're going to put a little bit of our red food dye in this one too, because it's blood. So we're going to, we've got to give it a little bit of what it needs. So just a couple, I put about two or three drops in there. We're going to see how that comes out. So I'm going to bring it over to you. It's already looking very good. Oh my goodness. Now I've done a lot of, you might not know this, but I've spent a lot of time on the stage. And whenever we need to make fake blood or anything like that, this is the recipe we use. So this is the professional stuff. This is the real stuff. So you can see how we're getting a very thick, syrupy, oozy kind of blood. And you can also, I'm showing you a couple of different kinds today because you can decide, like, I like this one better. I'm going to make this one again, or, whichever one you think is most convincing. I'm going to give that a good stir. That's definitely looking good. I like how that looks. Wonderful.
Great color.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm very, very happy with that. So that's coming together quite well. So that already looks pretty gnarly. But we're going to make it even gnarlier. I'm very, very excited about this one. So I'm actually going to get, this is not for the squeamish. No, it's fine. Because you see what goes into it. So you see it's just, it's just a little bit of kitchen magic. I'm going to put that there. What I'm doing here, here's a toilet roll. It's new. I didn't take it from the toilet. I bought it new, I promise. I'm going to take some tiny pieces of tissue and I'm going to throw it in there. I'm going to probably do maybe, that's 4, 5 little pieces, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe one more full piece. Jum, 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 jum. That's looking very good. And I'm going to mix that up. Oh my goodness. It's syrupy. It's wonderful. If this is too thick for your liking, you can add a little bit of hot water, but I like it to be extra sticky because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Now this will really scare your friends at Halloween. Okay. I scare myself with this one. This one's pretty cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull a little bit of this monstrous mixture out and I'm going to give myself a DIY very convincing Mighty Gash, which I think you'll agree is pretty cool. It's all good because it wipes right away, but it's just that little bit extra, you know, you've got your blood and we just take it one step further just to gross all of your friends out. And
It's pretty gross.
It's pretty gross, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's pretty much all. Oh my goodness, it's 5:02. We've done very well, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this very special version.
Thank you, Tara.
No worries. Thanks so much for coming along. So I believe you will be getting some WizFizz show bags tomorrow. So do, if you haven't already, write to the, is it the Old Cheese Factory page, Natalie?
Yes, please. If you could send a message to us on Facebook, that would be awesome.
And
Okay, I'll do that.
wonderful. And I hope this has inspired you to get messy. And for all those watching at home afterwards, thank you for joining us and tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. Natalie, was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap up today?
No, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Tara, and thanks you guys for joining us today.
No worries. Thank you so much. We learned heaps. It was really good to see it demonstrated as well.
Yes. Thank you so much. Well, have a lovely Halloween, folks. Enjoy.
Happy
Thanks, you
Halloween.
too. Bye.
Bye.